there's a lot of things that you're not happy with possession by possession. You got to lead late. You don't sprint back on me. Have a bad possession there when it matters. You don't sprint back. You give up a three. Like you blow a lead late. We've done that a handful of times now. It certainly is frustrating. You have the ball again, which we were in the exact same position against Tulane. It felt like a couple weeks ago when you have the ball, and I'd like us to get downhill or put a little pressure on the defense before we just settle for a jump shot and give us a chance to get an offensive rebound. But I did think Landers shooting a three, it feels like I believe in his jumper so much. If he gets a good look from three, it feels like a layup to me. So I didn't mind the shot. But I guess to put it in perspective, we were in the exact same position at Tulane with the exact same result, and I thought we handled it completely differently. I loved how our guys responded in overtime. I thought we had the mentality tonight just to find any way we could to win the game. Was it pretty down the stretch? No. Did we execute offensively like I want? No. Did we get every stop we needed to get? No. But the will and the mentality to win, that's what you're pleased with as a coach. And to be honest, that's way more important than the basketball X and O stuff, because you can get back to that and work at that and that type of thing. So that's the part I'm pleased with. 4 times now we played Temple since I've been here, and they've just been all battles. They've been battles. I mean, everyone's been physical. Aaron does a great job. Every game's been close, and it was good for us to get on the other side of one tonight. Damian Dunn was fantastic. Especially late. We had a difficult time with him. And then in overtime, I did think Ches did a better job and got some key stops in the one-on-one situation. And then I thought Landers was great in overtime on both ends. I mean, wow. So, some of the stuff. He misses the game winner. He hasn't been in the best stretch the last 2 weeks. We all know that. He would tell you that. But, man, to miss that game winner, to not get some key stops in regulation and then come back and get those key stops in overtime, make some great plays off the bounce and some nice mid-range shots. I thought that was a huge lift for us. I thought David DeJulius was just a winner, and he is a winner. And he's meant so much to our team this year and leading us in so many ways. But, like the play, he sprints back and takes away the layup in transition, I think kind of embodies what he's been about here. And I'm really, really proud of his game tonight. Dan Skillings probably has his best game as a Bearcat, and that's just so good to see because we need to use him more and we need more depth on the perimeter. He's definitely the guy that needs to do it, and to see some consistency there, not just some of the shots he made, but after his first rotation, he was so much better defensively. His first rotation, he was good on offense. He had a bunch of defensive errors. After that, he was really good. That gives you some confidence coming down the stretch. And, I could keep going down the line. Like the ball didn't find Jeremiah Davenport tonight. But, man, he just kept playing, hits big free throws, and I could kind of keep going down the line, but I'm proud of our guys.
Looked like early they were high hedging ball screens and then drop coverage. And are you seeing teams now kind of trying to do everything they can to stop the pick and roll as effectively as Dave has been playing it, with any of the big guys that have been out there? And secondly, how proud of you are of him for the way that he handled it and managed it?
I feel like, especially the last 3 games against Temple, we've had a really hard time with the pick and roll. They've blitzed or hard hedged Dave for 3 straight games. We haven't answered the bell. It's been frustrating. I thought our game plan tonight was significantly improved, and the guys did a great job of executing it early. And there was some great possessions, not just for Dave, but the ball kind of moved around and found our team. They adjusted, we adjusted, they kept adjusting, and those are part of some of the issues late with the switching. All of a sudden the same stuff that was working early, they adjusted, and it stagnated us a little bit and gets us in some isolation situations that you just don't quite like as much. So that was a little bit of a chess match going on back and forth. But early, I thought our game plan was really sound versus their hedge, and I thought it freed Dave up a little bit.
Seems like Landers responds well to being challenged, whether that's by you or, he mentioned kind of getting into it with Dunn. Could you sense that going into overtime that he was ready to maybe pop off a little bit?
He's been such a joy as a coach because he likes to be coached. Like, he likes to be held accountable. And that's one of the most important qualities in players growing. Like, he wants to be held accountable in everything. And you just got to be honest with him. I think with Landers, he's so intelligent. He's grown up, right? I mean, he's mature. If you try to talk around him, he's going to sniff that out. But if you're just honest with him, he really responds. And that's been one of the joys of coaching him. And, you know, we're really honest with him. Like, he needed to pick it up defensively. You know, he needed to pick it up offensively in some ways over the last couple weeks. And you tell him that, and you show him, and then he just kind of works at it and responds. And I thought he's been trying to kind of come out of it the last couple of days, and he came out of it late in that game today, and that was neat to see.
What do you have to say about Vic? He started off a little bit sluggish. Second half, he looked more like the Victor Larkin that you're used to.
He's +8, right? I mean, the impact he has on the game is significant, and we know that. We're a different team with Victor Larkin. You guys know that. I know that. Our team knows that. He hasn't practiced in 2 weeks, except he shot a lot of foul shots. So, you know, he better make his damn foul shots. That's all he's been doing. But it's great to have him back. Some of the bad habits that he's improved on, that if we've kind of got out of him, when you don't practice for 2 weeks, they come back out. Now he's reaching and gambling and not as secure with the ball. And those are some of the plays you may go, he's rusty. I don't think it's rusty. It's just that he's worked really hard to build better habits. You take 2 weeks off, the old stuff comes out. I'm not worried about it. Like, he's the first person that could tell you he knows. And then he'll get back in the gym and work at it, and hopefully the ankle feels pretty good. I thought from a movement standpoint and a physical standpoint, I thought he looked okay. And that's the most important coming down the stretch.
You put Landers on Dunn with, it looked like 7 or 8 minutes, 9 minutes left in the game, and they didn't score a field goal for 7 or 8 minutes. I mean, it says a lot about his ability to take a guy that I think had 23 already at that point and put him on ice for a little bit at least.
He had him the whole game too, Chad. I mean, he started on him. There was probably only one stretch that wasn't his matchup, and it was 2 possessions. They subbed and put Dunn at point guard. They took Miller out in the first half, so we put Dave on Dunn, and we put Landers on Hicks. And it was 2 after that. That was the only time the whole game he didn't have Dunn. Now there's some transition possessions he doesn't get matched up to him. But I thought he did, you know, like you look down and Dunn has 34. He did a pretty damn good job on him with the exception of some foul discipline. I think if outside of the foul discipline, I thought he did a great job. Now, there's a couple plays where he leaves his feet or maybe he doesn't slide his feet well enough to beat to the spot. And I think if you take those 4 or 5 plays out, his defense was phenomenal. And, you know, just like Landers and Dave, I mean, these guys are good players, and Dunn made some big-time plays. Yeah, you know, I think the first thing, Justin, is like it's been a little mental when you've blown a couple leads and it creeps in a little bit to your team. Like, oh, here we go again, and that type of thing. So I think finding ways to win here over the last couple games in those situations, I think that's the first step. I mean, the mentality part's the first step. It may not look like it, but we're coaching that stuff, and we do situations every day. We're talking about great shot offense. We're talking about how we execute. We're showing film of it. I thought defensively, with the exception of the time we didn't sprint back, I thought we were pretty damn good down the stretch tonight. We reached in, like Shuey reached in when he banged us. Like a couple just bad fouls, but maybe Odie's foul in the box out. But we were pretty sound defensively with the exception of some foul discipline. And that one possession, we don't sprint back and talk and give up the 3 to Hicks. Offensively, we got to execute better. Like it's a catch, right? You want the ball in the right guy's hands. The more you move it around, the less of it, the more chance you have to turn it over late, and the more chance you have to get it maybe not in the position you want. The more you try to get it in the right spot, the more it gets stagnant and the defense gets set. And we're trying to find the right balance of that. There's been times that we've done a nice job of that. I did not think we did a very nice job of that tonight. I'll be honest, and that's on all of us, and we'll show the film and get back to work on that tomorrow. Winner, David DeJoyce. Pretty simple. Winner. And just watch what he's done all year, how he's handled all the difficult positions that we've been in as a team, which is part of basketball. I'm not complaining, but he's had high expectations for this team and for himself, and there's been some things that have happened that have been frustrating for him. You know, losing John Newman, Vic, and Rob, like guys that he knew he was going to be able to rely on, older, experienced guys that were going to help our team be good. And every time that things have happened, he just responds, and he just does whatever he's got to do to help our team win, leading our team. I am so proud of David DeJoyce, and it ain't over yet, so I don't want to do the kumbaya thing like he got to come back again and do it tomorrow, but he will. He's proven it. He's a Bearcat. I'm just so thrilled with not just how he's played, but who he's been for our program. He's helping our program take huge steps forward.
Micah finished with just 7 points on 2 of 7 shooting, but he's finished with 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Had a good run there on the defensive end. These guys stuffed the stat sheet tonight. Just talk about what you thought from him. Obviously, he took that elbow.
From Micah?
Yeah, Micah.
Man, what a great defensive possession. He just reached in there, and that's where he kind of banged heads. And he's going to have a pretty good, swollen up eye there. But I love that he came back in and fought. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I thought defensively he wasn't just good. I think he's been really good. Offensively, he has such an impact on our team when he just makes the simple play, moves the ball, takes the right shots. And when he did that tonight, we were good. The possession in the first half where he over-dribbles drives you crazy, but he's so smart. He knows he does that. He kind of clicks out of it and gets to to playing back the right way. Yeah, I thought he was really good. Again, we need to get back to moving, running, sharing the ball so guys like Micah and Jeremiah get some more opportunities tonight. And I looked down tonight, and we just were too stagnant. But when we're playing like that, Micah and Jeremiah thrive, and we're a better offensive team. Yeah, I talked about it on the radio. Jeremiah Davenport, 4 shots. The ball didn't find him. We're talking about, the ball needs to move. The ball didn't find him. We're stagnant. He just keeps playing. Got some huge rebounds, hits huge free throws. I thought he was really good defensively when he needed to be. Missed a couple box outs on the weak side in the first half and one in the second half that resulted in 2 points. He was hard on himself about those. But I thought he was a big-time player tonight, and we got to make sure that he's more involved offensively. Again, the ball's got to move around a little bit better, and we'll get back to that in practice.
Most makes since you've been the coach here at UC. Is that kind of another example of this team showing different ways to win outside of just being a primarily jump shooting team?
Yeah, guys, the strength of this team is shooting the ball, and transition offense. We just got to be more consistent getting those opportunities. So if I put a perfect team together, I would want to get downhill more, and I'd want to throw the ball inside more and put more pressure on the rim, certainly. But you want to play to your strengths, and this team's done a nice job of that. It is good to see that we got to the foul line more tonight. That's really important to be successful down the stretch. So I don't freak out that we're not doing it enough because, again, the strength of our team isn't putting pressure downhill and drawing a lot of fouls. But not only did we get there tonight, we made our free throws, and I thought that was good. Having overtime and having them foul late helps you get to 32, so it ain't all just putting pressure on the rim.
Landers, got yourself going a little bit in overtime. What was it that kind of sparked that and got you on a roll there at the end?
Well, we had a little one-on-one altercation, so that kind of just sparked my fire. And then from there, the rest was history.
Who had the altercation?
Yeah, me and Don.
Friendly fire? Or?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's all I got to say about it.
Was that in overtime or before overtime?
It was right before. That's really why I was so mad I missed that last shot of regulation. Now for 21 is crazy.
Dan, you're not from Philly, but you're from close enough.
Yeah.
I mean, a little something extra. I saw you give him a little look on one of the first shots.
I know a couple guys on the team, and we talked before the season in the summer and stuff, seen them at events, and we talked about this matchup. So it was good to get them back for sure. Good team win for us.
Landers, you guys have gone to Dave in some of those last-second situations. It looked like they were all over him. What was the plan there at the end of regulation, and then what were you trying to get?
No, that was for sure the plan. I mean, after the last game, how could you not go back to him in the same situation in the very next game? So for us, that was our plan, and it didn't go as planned, but still found a way to get the job done.
What was it with the free throws tonight? 28 out of 30. Any team that does that, that's a lot of free throws and a lot to make.
I mean, it started at the top. Dave shot 100% from the field. I think Jeremiah did too, with 9 for 9 and like 4 for 4. So when they're aggressive and getting downhill and making their free throws, I mean, I hope we don't lose.
Last time you guys faced, it was 48-20 or 46-28 on the glass. This time it's 35-29. What seemed to be the difference maker here tonight?
We really been working at that. Rebounding is our big thing, and when we lead in reboundings, we usually rarely lose. So we really been working on the glass. It's a good rebounding team. Jalil White had 16 rebounds against us the first match up. So we focused on keeping them off the glass and keeping them off the glass because they're a real hard-working team. So we really executed that tonight.
Dan, I felt like we could see your confidence growing in real time out there. Were you feeling the same way?
Nah, for sure, yeah. Just staying humble and hungry. My teammates really boost that for me and give me that confidence, and got a coaching staff that really believes in us and believes in me. So having that on my back really helps me keep going every day.
Where are you at now with your confidence in the perimeter shot? It looks like you're back on track. You've kind of gone up and down. It looks like you're back on track to having a lot of confidence when it comes out of your hand.
Just taking the good ones, taking the wide open good ones and not forcing things, and just staying in the gym and getting repetition on my shot, but most importantly, taking the real good ones and taking my time. That's what really built my confidence up.
You have one turnover tonight, had 12 in the past 2 games. Was there any kind of emphasis for you in your own head going into tonight, kind of taking care of the basketball?
Oh, for sure. I probably only have 3 or less turnovers for the rest of the year, honestly. That's my main goal. So if I can do that, I did something pretty good.
Are you a guy that needs something like that? Like he challenged you with rebounds earlier in the year. You attacked it. Now maybe it's not turning the ball or taking care of the ball a little better. Does that kind of – you need kind of that little extra spark sometimes?
In this situation, it was kind of different. I mean, the guys on the team trust me with the ball in my hand, and so did the coaching staff. So it wasn't much emphasis on this, but as me, like being hard on myself, I already knew what it was, and that'll never happen again. I'm not going to lie. That'll never happen again.
Yeah.
How important is it for you guys to win close games the last 2 times, especially given the fact you're trying to at least stay in the top 4 in the AAC?
I feel like that's a major thing for us, like winning any game really, whether it's close or a blowout. I just feel like from here on out, every game is like crucial for us, so we can't have no slip-ups.
Dan, you had a 5-point run there early in the first half. You hit 3, then you come down, drive baseline, hit the acrobatic reverse layup. Walk us through what you saw in that play.
We were running our play, and I got it, and it was just I seen a lot of space going down there, and Odie did a real good seal for me to box out his man for me to get there. So I just took it to either get on the line or get a basket for the team.
And I think you had about 100 people at the last game that didn't go so well. Did you have some tonight? And if not, is your phone blowing up with texts and stuff?
Nah, my family and friends supported me over there in Philly for sure, and I love that. Nah, there's no one that was here today, but I focus better when I don't have a lot of family and people like that at the game. So I was able to lock in, and we got the job done, and it was good.
You get Vic back 10 points, 3 of 5 from the floor. How important is he just to the overall like confidence and momentum of this team?
I mean, y'all know how I feel about him. But once he get back on his feet, he's going to be back to one of the best bigs in the country. It's probably one of his – it's not even a bad game for him. I mean, he's just trying to get back under himself. So coming off an injury, I love how he looked, how he was aggressive, wasn't complaining, just was there for us. Even when he fouled out, he still was there for us, and that's a big part for us.
Lander, it seemed like you made up your mind overtime you were going to go to the mid-range. Was that a conscious decision by you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like I said, we got into a one-on-one battle, so me being me and knowing, like, what I'm capable of, and my teammates, honestly, like, just was supporting me, especially after I hit the first one. So I just felt like after missing the one in regulation to finish it, I couldn't let them down to overtime, too.
difficult of a cover is a guy like Damian Dunn when it seemed like you were playing pretty tight defense, especially later on in the second half, but he was just cooking.
Yeah, he's a good caliber player. Had a great, outstanding game. I mean, he was hitting some tough shots. And when players have nights like those, you just got to hope he missed. And in the crucial point, I feel like I got some key stops and helped our team ultimately win the game.
Coach put you on him with about 10 minutes left, and you held him at 23 for 7-8 minutes. You take a lot of pride in being able to be the guy that you can get put on a guy and shut him down.
Oh, for sure. I feel like that's my emphasis every game, guarding either the best guard on the wing or the second best guard. David don't got him. So for us, that's what I look forward to every night. I always want to guard one of the top guys on the scouting report because I know that I'm that on their scouting report. So I'm going to do the same for them.